Hello everyone, welcome to our special webinar that we have for you. Before we dive into the session, I would quickly like to understand if my voice is audible to you. So if I'm audible, please do type a yes in the chat box. Also, talking about this chat box, this is the place where you're going to ask us all the questions about today's webinar. So if I'm audible, please type a yes in the chat box. Once you confirm, we can go ahead. Great. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your confirmation. And as I see, a lot of them are still joining the session, and I see a lot of you are new to Galvanize. So, a quick introduction about Galvanize, who we are and what exactly we do. But here is a team of experts who have been the backbone of Galvanize Global Education. We have Ram Srinivasan, Pavitra Srinivasan, who's Sriram Venkatraman, who are the co-founders of Galvanize Global Education. And we have a team of experts heading the admission counseling team out there. We have with us Jayanti Ramakrishnan, Soumya Subramaniam, and Rohini Venkatesh out there. So, a lot of you might be aware, Galvanize Global Education has been helping students right from their basic test preparations for GRE, IELTS, TOEFL, SAT. And not only that, we have a team of experts helping students for their admission counseling for bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degree out there. And yes, of course, Galvanize is at your back for your last minute assistance to help you connect with the right loan providers out there. We take immense pleasure and proud to share that Galvanize Global Education is founded and managed by alumni from top universities like Stanford, IIT Madras, and Ahmedabad. We have been helping students, across the globe. So as you can see, 65 plus countries have chosen Galvanize in their journey of higher education. And we have placed our students across 1,000 plus universities across 18 plus countries. And I'm pretty sure you would be seeing your dream destination on my screen today. And Galvanize would be thrilled to help you get into your dream destination with the expertise out there. So, very famous thread on Quora, and I believe a lot of you would be there on Quora for various reasons, looking for various answers out there. So I would take you much time here, but I would request you to take a look at the threads, which I will be sharing in the chat box. So this is something where students have shared their experience of being with Galvanize, either for test prep or admission counseling. So do take a look at our Quora threads and take your decisions wisely. About your person, your go-to-go person, your host for today's webinar. We have with us Sujaya Roy, who is the senior admissions counselor here, and a little bit about Sujaya. So she did her graduation from LAD College Nagpur in microbiology. She also did her master's in marketing from IMI New Delhi, and with 17 plus years of experience in education industry, she has been guiding students across get into their dream destinations for MS, PhD, and MBA out there. And today she is your person. So without any further delay, I would request ma'am to start with the session. And yes, of course, we have some exciting things to be shared by end of the session. So stay tuned with us. Hello, Sujaya ma'am, you can share your screen and yeah.
Am I visible and audible both, Ramya?
Yes, yes ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Ma'am, one request, can we have it in slideshow format?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to the session. Without any further ado, let us just straight dive into Germany and understand some quick facts about Germany. So Germany consists of about 16 states, and Berlin is their capital and the largest city as well in the capital of Europe. Now, it is also the fourth largest economy in the world, and with a population of about 84.4 million. Now, Germany is also a leading exporter to many of the industries, which are the vehicle industry, chemical industries, and some household equipments too. German is the official language spoken out there, and it's also the predominant language as well. Euro is the official currency, And some of the famous cities apart from Berlin would be Munich, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Dresden, Heidelberg, etc. So these are the famous cities where you would also expect to have your university situated. Now, talking about a German based company, so you have all the niche companies present out there. Their presence is there in Germany. So you can see the logo out here. We have nothing much to say about these fantastic companies like Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Porsche, etc. Now, before I actually go deep into this session, I would like to actually segregate the whole session into four W's. Okay, so these are why. Why Germany would you take it up as your destination abroad? Where in Germany that you would like to go in for? When in Germany? What is the famous timeline that you should be applying to? And what? Basically, what are the documents that you would require and the eligibility that you should have within yourself to apply to Germany? So these are the famous four W's that we are trying to understand and get in over there. So just let's start with why in Germany. Now there are many options of why in Germany. So we'll start one by one. Okay, so number one is the top quality courses or the program. Now, German universities are known for their world class education, and students who would be going out there would be rest assured to meet the academic excellence. Number two is the less tuition cost. Now, most of the German universities would charge you a very nominal tuition fees or no tuition fee for that matter. Okay, so if you want to do a consecutive course, what is a consecutive course? So if you are a student, you're doing your undergraduates in computer science and you want to do masters in computer science, you're not changing the stream. So these are the consecutive courses. So if you want to go for these kind of courses, the university will charge you with no tuition fee as well. So that's a huge plus for any of you who are planning to go for Germany as your destination. Number three is the scholarship. Now, several universities will offer you scholarship to the deserving and the meritorious students. So there are options to get scholarships as well. Number four is the English mode of teaching. Now, even if in Germany, German is the official language or the predominant language spoken, but you would still have a lot of universities offering you a lot of programs wherein the mode of instructions is English. So again, you won't be actually having only German courses, but a lot of English speaking or English instructed courses as well. Number five is the diversity. Now, because it is one of the most sought after destinations for most of the international candidates, so you could expect a lot of students applying to Germany. So your class would also have people or students all across from the globe. So here you will see a diverse culture as well. Number six is safety. Germany is comparatively also a very safer option for the international students. There are some examples to it because in Germany, it has the world class healthcare infrastructure available over there. Apart from that, it also maintains the political social balance within itself, which makes it a very safer option for the international students to go for. Number seven is the travel. So apart from having a less tuition fee, you also have a very less travel fee that you will have to pay, with your student ID pass or the, public transport passes, you are actually paying, actually negligible amount for your travel as well. And last but not the least would be your 18-month work visa. So after you're done with your graduation, you get a chance to stay there for 18 months to find the employability and work on over there. So that's again a huge plus. So these in combination will make Germany a very sought after and a very favorite destinations for most of the students who wants to pursue their higher studies abroad. Now, in continuation to the employment that we were talking about, now as a student or as an international student to say so, you are allowed to work there for 120 full working days or 240 half working days in a year. Okay. Now, typically, your salary would range from 8 to 12 euros an hour. But the most important thing over here to notice is that the student can get an on campus or an outside the campus, or rather, we call it as an off campus job, which is, very, very different from the universities that are there in US or any other part of European country. So, you get to work on campus as well as off campus. The other thing that you could develop is the German language skill that are not only going to be important for you to have a survival over there because it's a German language speaking country, but it will also help you to find employability, and you will be also entitled for higher wages as compared to the students who would not have such skills. I spoke about the tremendous avenues of job aspects that Germany has because it is a home to many Fortune 500 companies. I've already seen the logos of Audi, BMW, Bentley Motors, etc. Again, it is the strongest economy in Europe, so that also kind of is a directly proportional for opening up a lot of jobs in Germany. It is also known as the mecca for the automobile and the mechanical engineers. And the important thing is, after 5 years of working in Germany, you have a right for a indefinite right of residence. You can apply for an indefinite right of residence in Germany just after 5 years of working in Germany, which is again going to be a big plus for any of you who is actually planning to go over there. Then, having understood why we should take up Germany, what are the pluses that we have if we go for Germany as a destination, we need to also understand where we should go. What are the type of universities that we should be looking around in Germany? Which so let us just understand this, which will make our job easier. In order to understand where in Germany. Now, basically, in Germany, the universities are divided into three groups. Okay, so what are these three groups are? They are technical university. We often term them as the TU universities. You have universities of applied sciences, and you have universities of art, films, music, etc. Now, what are the basic difference or the most important difference between these three categories? Now, technical universities basically it focuses on the theoretical based learning, and it offers you degree programs in either bachelor's, master's, and doctorate program. Okay, research here plays a very integral part. Okay, so if you happen to do your master's in one of the programs in social sciences, humanities, natural sciences, etc., this will be coming under technical universities. These kind of technical universities are very consistently ranked as well. Even some of the engineering colleges will also come under this, but majority of humanities, natural sciences, these are the subjects or the programs, this will come under TU. Now, you would have also, understood or maybe have heard about TU9 universities. So I'll talk about this in my next slide. So this is in nutshell is the TU for you. How it is different from applied sciences? Because applied sciences does not offer you the doctorate program. You cannot go for a PhD program. It is only going to be offering you bachelor's or master's degree. Unlike the TU, which is focusing mainly on the theoretical based, it is going to give you a practical learning as well. An integral part, research do play an integral part, but it is more focus, on the application oriented studies. Again, if you want to, do any engineering programs, any business program under medicine, so this will come under the applied sciences, University of Applied Sciences. And if you are slightly creative and you want to go for subjects like arts, music, etc., then again their admission requirement would be slightly different from this technical university and the University of Applied Sciences, because there you will have to showcase your special talent. So for example, if you want to apply for masters in architecture, then in that case you will have to showcase your portfolios, what all you have done in your bachelor's. All these extra special talent needs to be showcased for your University of Arts or Films or Music. So this in a nutshell is the basic difference or the important difference between Technical University, TU, Applied Sciences, and Arts, Films and Music. So let us now see what are the TU9 universities. These are considered as one of the highly ranked universities in Germany, and you have lot of students applying to these universities, especially in mechanical and automotive. We have universities like RWTH Aachen University, Technical University of Berlin. You have TU of Darmstadt, TU of Dresden, Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, Leibniz University, Hanover, TUM, Technical University of Munich. A lot of you will be interested in applying to these, standard of university, University of Stuttgart. So this in totality will make it up for TU9 universities, which are ranked very, very high and are extremely competitive in nature. Now, let us also see where in Galvanize we have helped our students to get inside the German universities. So basically, there are plethora of universities out here. I could like see University of Stuttgart, Free University Berlin. Then you have University Leibniz University. All these university we have seen it in the TU9 university column. So you can see that we have helped our students to get inside these amazing, sort of an university in Germany. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this university. See, you have RWTH Aachen University, Technical University of Berlin, University of Bremen, then Technical University Munich. So we have some fantastic universities out here where we are very proud to help our students. Now these are the universities. I'm just quickly run through the slides so that you can just have a glimpse of it. Now you could see here 340, fields of specialization where our students are actually, taken up, which is again humongous. So right from data science to computer science to molecular biology, production management, supply chain and logistic, economics and finance, biotechnology. So all the streams and whatever kind of specialization that you could think of, we have actually helped our students to, find out the programs for the kind of specializations that you are looking at, and also at the long run to help them with the admits as well. So these are the specializations: environmental biology, management and technology, medical sciences, automotive, agrobiotechnology, all the. So again, I'm quickly run through these slides. Now, having understood as where in Germany, which are the types of universities that I should go in for, I now next need to understand when in Germany. So when I should be applying to all these universities to secure or to be able to meet the deadline. Now, basically, so basically there are two intakes in Germany, winter and summer. The winter intake starts in the month of September and October. That is, the session starts by September and October, and the summer session starts by March and April. But the deadline for the winter semester will be the 15th July and summer will be 15th January. Now, please note that the deadline mentioned over here are the extended deadline. Okay. So don't be under the, impression that if I'm applying to the winter, session or the winter intake, all my university's program will have a deadline of 15th July. This is the by far the extended deadline. You can expect different deadlines because they would be very, very specific to the programs that you would be applying to. Similarly, it goes for summer intake as well. If 15 January is written, 15 January because some of the universities would have it and it's the extended deadline, but you can also, need to check what is the deadline prescribed for your kind of program for that particular university. Now, having mentioned that this is the extended deadline, we also need to understand that when we should be applying to the universities. Okay. Now, 15th July, if the extended deadline, then in that case, we need to have a buffer of about 6 to 8 weeks in hand. Okay. So, at least 2 months before that, we should be in a position to apply or to be able to submit the application for that particular intake. There are a couple of reasons I would like to highlight. What are the reasons? Number one, because early deadlines do play an important factor. Okay, some of the universities do have a rolling deadline. So once you are actually submitting the application, they are going to evaluate your candidature and they are going to roll out the admissions. So that is one thing, that it would enhance your chance of acceptance if you apply early. Number two is a lot of universities will ask you in Germany particularly to deliver the hard copies, the transcript, not online but in hard copies through direct mailing them. So in that case also you would need time in order to do that. And the third most important thing is the introduction of uni assist. So what is a uni assist? Basically, you won't get a chance to apply to these universities directly. Supposedly, if you wanted to apply to the technical universities of Munich for an automotive program, MS in automotive engineering, you are not allowed to go there and apply directly. For that, what would happen is you need to first apply to the uni assist forum. This is a third party which is going to evaluate your candidature. Once they are okay, they will then redirect your application to that particular university. So again, this is going to take a lot of time. So make sure for whichever intake that you are get going, you have at least a buffer of 6 weeks to 8 weeks in hand in order to do all your documentation and in order to just be able to submit the application on time. Now, let us also understand what are the requirements. Okay, now we have understood whys, when, and where. We also need to understand what we should have within ourselves. What are the eligibility criteria that we should have within us so that we are able to make that decision of applying to that universities. Now, because we are focusing today on the masters, now what are the entry requirements for masters? Now, academic percentage is above 70%. This is very, very important. I have been repeatedly telling about or giving emphasis on the world class high standards of education in Germany. So, they are very, very particular of you having a great CGPA or a GPA. For that, you have to have a minimum of 70% in order to apply to the well ranked or the good universities for that matter. Okay, more the merrier, but this is the cutoff. English language proficiency or the requirement, you can go for either IELTS or TOEFL. No Duolingo, no PTA and all would be accepted. Mostly they would be going for IELTS or TOEFL score. You need to have an overall 6.45 IELTS score with no band less than 6. None of your subsection should go beyond 6, below 6. And if you're going for a TOEFL, you need to have an average score of about 87. Again, more the merrier. If you have a score of about 90 plus and 100, that's really going to do wonders for you. But it should not drop down to less than 87 for that matter. Now, basic level of understanding of a German language is also going to add values to your application. I have already said that it's not only going to help you find an employability, but it's also going to help you to give an edge over others. If you have a basic level of German language known, what is the basic language level is the A1 or the A2. Okay, so if the university have not specified anything, even if it is an English instructed program, you need to have a basic level A1 or A2 done. Okay, now as I have already spoken about that, the knowing German language will help you get a better chance of admission, and you would you would get an edge over other candidates who actually with no German language skill. Now, they are very already very stringent about their documentations as well, so you cannot half-heartedly apply to the German university. So, for example, you need to have your IELTS scorecard in hand. Okay, there is no concept of applying without IELTS. So, in US university, sometimes they give you an IELTS waiver, or in UK for that matter, if it is written in a transcript, like the medium of instruction is English, you are again can apply without IELTS score. But in Germany, they would need an IELTS score or a TOEFL score from you. So there isn't any concept of applying without this. So make sure that you have all this thing done before 6 to 8 weeks before the application due date. And also, you need to have your final year mark sheet along with you. This probably would raise a question in your mind, like, what if I am a sixth year student, a sixth semester student, or a seventh semester student? Am I not eligible for German university? So the answer to that would be you are, but in that case, you need to have a provisional degree certificate along with you. But recommendation, you need to have your final year mark sheets along with you in order to apply to the German universities, because they are very focused about the documents. Number three is the university do not issue the conditional offer letters. So, in US and another part of European countries, sometimes if the candidature is good or they are not meeting any certain level of prerequisites, universities do offer them a conditional offers. Okay, so in that case, they have to meet the prerequisite laid by the university, and then they are good to go. But here in Germany, again, it brings us back to the same point where we are emphasis on the part like why documentation is that important, that you would not be issued any conditional offer letter, most of the German universities. Now, in Germany, if you are applying to the universities out there, GRE is, you can go without even GRE. GRE is not mandatory for you to write over there, because 90% of the courses will not ask you for a GRE score. But if you are applying to TU9 University. So TU9, I spoke about it like a Raw Aachen University, Technical University of Munich, then TU Dresden, all of those universities. If you are applying to the mechanical engineering or the automotive engineering, in that case, you would need a very good GRE score, a very competitive GRE score you would need. And here, you would need a minimum of 75% plus in bachelor. So even a 70% won't do out here. You would actually need, again, a 75% plus in bachelors and a very competitive GRE score, because they are very sought after programs. A lot of international students would be applying, and that's going to be very competitive. So this is also an important requirement that you should keep in mind while applying there. Now we are speaking about the levels of languages. Okay, now I spoke about the basic being A1 and A2. So if your program is English taught program and it does not specify you to have any German language skill, even then you are recommended to have a A1 A2 level of German language proficiency done. And if they specify a B1 or a B2, in that case, you would need to check that and you need to undergo such kind of a German level proficiency. C1 and C2 are very advanced. Normally, in an English taught program, they are not asked. Okay, so all you will have to have is a A1, A2, the basic level. And if your program requires a B1, B2, then accordingly, you will have to have that proficiency level done also for your Germany. Now, from where do I get this German language level done? Should I go to any institution or any coaching center to do it? So the answer to that is no, because only Goethe Institute or the Max Muller Bhavans are the authentic approved German government approved institutions which are going to give you the certification of these courses. You will find this particular institute in the major cities of India. So you can have it from Ahmedabad, you can have it from Bangalore, Chandigarh, Chennai, Coimbatore, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai, New Delhi, Pune, and Trivandrum. Now, if you happen to stay close by to all these cities, you can, maybe plan to take it from there, or also alternatively, you can see the online, on go to their website and check out online as to when are the test dates available, what are the fees, or any queries that you can have, you can check out over there. You can again take a screenshot and keep it to yourself, which you can refer later, which might be helpful for you. Now, coming to the important question of what are the duration of the program, and the most important question followed is the tuition fees. Now, duration for in the master's courses are in Germany are normally around 2 years. Okay. Now, what are the funds that I would need to have within my range in order to pursue my studies in Germany? Now, this we have segregated into living expense and tuition fees. So you can see here it's mentioned zero for most of the master's courses taught in public universities. So you can see absolutely zero cost or a very nominal course fee or a low tuition fee will be charged mostly by the public universities. But these public universities are very, very competitive or very, very competitive in nature, and you need to have a strong application in order to fetch that type of a tuition fees. Okay. But living fees or the expense are there because you have a rent to pay. You can you have other groceries, food items to take care for your living expenses, your transport, though it is a very nominal cost, but overall, at an average of about 11,200 euros per year is what is going to be your living expense. Okay, so this is how we have segregated the funds that you would need basically to study in Germany. Now, understand the documents. What are the type of documents that I would need in order to apply? Okay, for the German universities, you need to have an undergraduate degree from an accredited university or the recognized universities in India. Okay. You also need to have all the semester mark sheets with you, or the complete courses. Okay. This is important. Again, proof of English, whether you're going for a TOEFL or an IELTS, you need to have that. Now, coming to the three things, which is statement of purpose, letter of recommendations, and resume. This is also a very important documentation that you should be actually give a lot of importance to, because most of the time you're not going to get interviewed by any of the admission committee in the university out there. It is going to be your applications which is going to speak for you. So in that case, you need to make sure that your statement of purpose are written that way that it speaks volumes about your candidature, about your accomplishments, about all the achievements that you have. Letter of recommendation, you need to choose your academic professor or supervisor in a way who you have a great rapport with, who are going to give you a great recommendation. So okay, resume has to also be formatted to the point where it is not repetitive of what is being mentioned in statement of purpose and etc. It should be very you know focused and very target oriented. Of course, you would need a valid passport. And if you are going for any business courses as well, like an MBA or a MS in supply chain management, all of that, you would need a GMAT or a GRE. Plus, I have already spoken about the mechanical automotive courses, which would need a GRE. So, this is in a nutshell that are the documents that you need to keep preparing with yourself if you want to apply to the universities out there. Now let us understand, once I have an admit, once I have applied, I got an admit, like what is the next step for a visa that we have to do? Okay. Now again, applicants, need to apply for the visa in person at least 60 to 90 days prior to the departure. Okay, so if you are going in October, make sure that you do your application or visa application processing latest by July end or August, because it will take about 8 to 12 weeks in order to process the entire visa thing for you. Now there are about five consulate general of Federal Republic of Germany in India, and they are situated in metros like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and Delhi. Apart from that, you also have it in um, Bangalore, uh, and Bangalore, yeah. So you have all the four metros covered plus Bangalore, with which has a consulate general of the Federal Republic of Germany, where you can actually go for your visa. Now, if you are from states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Goa, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh, Daman and Diu, you need to go to the Mumbai consulate for the same. If you are from Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Pondicherry, you need to go to Chennai. Again, if you are from Karnataka and Kerala, you need to go to Bangalore. And if you are from the eastern side, like West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, all the seven sisters, then in that case, you will have to go for Kolkata. And Delhi Embassy, you will have Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana, all the northern part, of India, Himachal Pradesh, the Union Territory of Chandigarh, Delhi, Andaman Nicobar, and Lakshadweep Island. So basically, you need to file up your visa in person in all of these places, and make sure that you go to the apt consulate for doing the same. Now, what are the charges that you need to pay up for doing your visa? So the visa fees at present is 80 euros, and it may subject to change depending on when the embassy will feel like doing the same. You will have to leave it to the same thing. Now you also have to pay an extra charges for about rupees 844 once you are given the approval and the passport is submitted at VFS Center for Stamping. Now there is something called as blocked account that you need to create, which is going to showcase the kind of living expense that you are able to afford the living expense in Germany. Okay. So the blocked account, you need to deposit an euro of 11,208, which is very close to the living expenses that we spoke about. Okay. This is the euro you need to deposit out there, which you can actually take it out in 12 equal installments once you go to Germany. From there, you can operate the same. While doing a transaction, a lot of time a certain charges are being cut. So make sure that you have a surplus of about 150 euros also deposited along with 11,208, because otherwise they might stop you to operate that. So to avoid all such problems later on, just make sure that you minimum maintain the balance of the 11,208 euros for your blocked account. So these are important for your visa steps. So what are the documents again? What are the checklists that I need to have? So number one is, of course, the valid passport. So if you're while doing your application, or while actually filing up your visa, if you find out that your passport is going to expire in next 6 months, please go and renew your passport. You need to also have a copy of your passport data pages, which has all your details. You need to have 3 passport size photographs, the cover letter that will showcase your intention of studies out there in Germany, then letter of admission, that is your offer letter, then proof of payment. If you have paid any fees to the universities, any nominal fees, semester fees, or tuition fee, if you've been asked to pay, then in that case you will need to provide the proof of the payment. Then proof of language proficiency, like your IELTS scorecard or A1, A2, or whatever level of German proficiency language that you have, you need to take those certificates along with you. And the other academic qualifications, which is like your transcripts, etc. Okay, so you need to have that as well. Now, the most important thing, very recently, I would say from November 1st, 2022, this has been implemented. This APS certificate is been implemented for Indian students who are going to take Germany as their destination, and it is a mandatory requirement. Now, what is an APS? It is basically an institution that checks the authenticity of your candidature. So, what it checks? It checks your educational biographies, it checks your certificates, educational certificates that you have, and if the result is positive, it issues a certificate. Okay, and that certificate is very, very important for you in order to get the visa. If you don't have it, you're not going to get it. Also, some of the universities might ask you for APS certificate during the time of your application. That is again program specific. Okay. So this adds on to the another fact why you need to do the application, much before the timeline that is prescribed. So this APS certificate is very, very important for you, and it do take a lot of time. Even the students, ongoing student of ours who are doing this process for more than 2-3 months are still awaiting their certificate. So make sure that as soon as you are focused and you have made your decision to apply to the German university, you immediately also apply for getting the APS certificate. Okay, for applying or for registration, you will have to pay an INR 18,000, which is non-refundable. Okay, now you have the APS online, FAQs. You can go through it. You can read, a lot of your queries will be answered over there as well. So this is the important thing or the mandatory thing that one has to do if you are going forward from now on for the German universities. This is how the APS certificate actually looks like. Okay, um we have actually blurred the name of the student for the security purpose, and this is our Galvanize student who has received the APS certificate, and this is how it looks. So you can take a screenshot, or you can just see how important this document is, which you would need for your visa purpose, and the language requirement that you need to have for your visa purpose. Okay, now, whichever mode of instruction is your program is, you need to have at least an equivalent to the B2 level of language done. Basically, so if it is taught in English medium or English mode, even then, B2 level equivalent English proficiency you should have. So, what is a B2 level English proficiency? Is IELTS 5.5 or a TOEFL 72. But this is only for the visa requirement, but none of the universities will be accepting this low score, because it will be again very specific to the university, and university will eventually have a very high requirement. Okay, so remember, we have spoken about not having an IELTS score less than 6.5 with a subsectional score going below 6. So maintain that in order to have a great admit. Okay, I've already spoken to you about where you would like to go for your German language proficiency test, which is in the Goethe Institute, Max Muller Bhavan. These are the authentic German approved, government approved institutions. There you need to find out, and you are not going to get any exemptions for not writing or not giving the proof of the language requirement. No exemption letters or no certificate where it's written the medium of instruction is English is going to help. So make sure that you actually go and write your all the German level or the English level test done at the right time. um, Now there are a lot of common questions that is being asked. I would like to take that one by one before I come to your question answer session. Okay. So the most important questions or the most commonly asked question is, does Germany accept 3-year bachelor's degree? For to answer for to that would be yes, it does accept a 3-year bachelor's degree. for masters in the private institutions. Okay, but for public universities, it is very important that you have a 4-year bachelor's degree. Okay, you cannot apply to public university with 3-year bachelor's degree. How many backlogs are acceptable in Germany? Already, I have told you about the high standards of German universities. Even then, it gives you and leverage of about 15 backlogs that you should have. But at the end, while you are applying to the university, make sure that you have cleared all your backlogs. What are the documents that I would need for application process? We have covered all of it in details in our previous slide. You can just take a screenshot. However, I'll just run through once more. You need a valid passport, your 10th and 12th mark sheet, your degree certificates, recommendation letters which should be sealed and attested covers, statement of purpose, your English proficiency test score, GRE scorecard only if it is necessary. You need to have your resume as well, your German proficiency certificate, and your work experience if you have any, or your project if you have done any relevant project for that particular course. Then for that you need to have that as well along with you. So what is the age limit? So age limit is up to 30 years for master's degree. Okay. And can a student apply without IELTS? So I have already told you the answer for this will be no, but however, there is certain exceptions. Only 3 universities to a very specific program will allow you to have a IELTS waiver, which is Arden University, EU Business School, and JISMA Business School. Besides that, it is not, possible to have an IELTS waiver. So make sure that you have your IELTS written or TOEFL written and score a great score in that. Okay. So with that, I come to the end of the FAQ section. Although I'll be taking your session with your question answers as well. But before that, a sneak peek into our student, Galvanize student, who have been in the recent past, who have made some great admits. So he's Mr. Chirag Luthra. He's from Delhi. You can see here his overall percentage is 73%. Okay. And his IELTS score is 7. He has done his engineering from DU University, Delhi Technical University, with an environment engineering in BE in environmental engineering. Okay. Uh, he was an intern with Engineers India Limited, and he's also has done his intern from Clean Air Asia. He's done some relevant case studies and some projects to develop his profile, and he's got an admit to Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Water Resource Engineering. So this is Chirag Luthra. We have another student, Bhavya Goel from New Delhi. Okay. So this is a he's a business economics from Aryabhat College, New Delhi. Okay. His overall CGPA, you can see over here, is 7.27, and he's got some fantastic IELTS score of 6.5. Okay. He has got the admit from Humboldt University of Berlin, and in MS in economics, and he has done again some good publications under a real-time automated measurements of malnutrition, again malnutrition analysis of Anganwadis. He had some good projects to back up his profile, which is the factors affecting human development or department mode of transport analysis, etc. Then meet Joel Jose from Chennai. Okay, he is again galvanized student. His CGPA is 6.56, but his IELTS score is 7.5. He used to work with General Electric in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and he has some projects done under instrumentation and control engineer. He's got an admit in MBA digitizations from Rock University. Here is Ashrita Roy from Vijayawada. She is also a BTech Instrumentation and Control Engineering from Vigna Jyoti Institute of Engineering. Okay. And she is an intern with Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, T Hub Hyderabad intern. Again, what is common over here is everybody's got a good CGPA, which has been backed up by a great projects, publications, or for that matter, the work experience. See here, Sham Shankar, he's from IIT Madras. Okay, he's done his engineering from electrical engineering from IIT Madras. His GRE score is 330, TOEFL score of 106, and his overall CGPA is 8.66. Okay, so you can see here he's been working as an backend intern in Makari, Tokyo. He's done some amazing projects in Centum Electronics, then representation learnings of wiki articles, then automatic review. So he's also kept it very target to the program that he wanted to pursue his MS from. He's got an admit from Ludwig Maximus University in Munich. Then Karan is Nachia. He's from the Anand Sagar College of Engineering from Bangalore. Here you can see his overall CGPA is 8.43, an IELTS score of 8, which is amazing score. Okay, he is also been very focused of doing his MS in the automotive field. Okay, which is the Frederick Alexander Universitat, Erlangen, Namburg. Okay, he had been an intern with Ingo Electric Private Limited, Elemental Motors work intern, computer aided design. He has done some fantastic projects in order to back up his profile in computer aided designs and thermal analysis of lithium ion cells. And he's worked in the innovation department and built a human powered vehicle with a team of 15. So again, his profile was very much target oriented, which backed up with a great CGPA and even more fantastic IELTS score. So he managed to get his dream admit to this university. Then Tushar Jindal is again from IIT Madras. His overall CGPA you can see over here is 9.87. So again, he has been managing and sustaining finances as a student, okay, in an annual magazines. He has got some amazing projects done in the areas in which he wanted to go in to do his masters from science and religion, the material abstract, then forecasting future global fisheries production under climate change. So all these kind of project, all the kind of CGPA that you would be, consistently having with yourself, good IELTS score. These are some of the very important factor that you need to have within you in order to get a great admit from the great public universities in Germany. With that, I think I come to an end of my session with you all. I hope by now you would be able to find some solutions or some, questions, answered. However, I'm open to take all your questions in some time from now. Over to you, Ramya.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the informative session. And this is not just me. One of the students has also said that this has been a very informative session. So until the time we request students to start posting the questions, I will quickly run through how Galvanize can help you in your journey of higher education. And so these are some of our courses in case you're looking for our GRE test prep and TOEFL and IELTS out there. As ma'am mentioned, IELTS is mandatory for pursuing in higher education in Germany. So we do have a course for you out there, and also we do have GRE program, which is a crash, which is a program of 45 days. We have a GRE 90 course for 3 months where students who have already booked in their dates and would like to start with their preparations. We have a GRE Plus, which is a 6 months course, and GRE 360 basically students who are planning for an giving their test in next 1 year out there. So these are some of our courses. And if you'd like to know more about in depth how the course works, please fill in the profile evaluation form so that we can get in touch with you, not only solve your doubts, but also help you understand how we can help you out there. Well, these are some of the perks and advantages of being with Galvanize for your higher education. If you look at some of the features out there, so you do have an unlimited ask an expert facility for all your content related doubts. You have personalized study plan based on your requirements, your strength and weakness, and not only that, extensive practice questions to make you strong at each and every concept that you might face in your GRE, IELTS, TOEFL prep out there. And yes, of course, full in mock test to give you an actual feel of the exam. So that on day you don't feel stressful about sitting for those long hours and prepare giving those tests out there. Well, if you look at the benefits, you will have updated test pattern at most affordable rate by an expert guidance out there. So these are some of the perks and advantages. And you will also I will here talk a little bit about the process that we follow for the admissions part, like for helping you get into your German universities out there. So onboarding, a student will have a call, a deep conversation with the counselor, which will help both of us realize where we stand with our current profile, and if there are any shortcomings that would be highlighted, and help you understand what are the next steps that you need to take, followed by university shortlisting, where you would be guided onto which are the universities that you can apply for, what are the pros and cons of those universities. So you will have in-depth conversation with counselors like Sujaya ma'am out there, to help you understand where you have to be, where you are right now, and where what are the next steps you can take. And not only that, you will be given guidance with respect to documentation, where we help you with a statement of purpose, letter of recommendations. So you will be provided inputs as to what are the steps you need to follow for getting the best resume, out there. And then finally moving towards your visa process, wherein we help you with what are the documents that you need to, like today you just saw in a session that what are the documents required for Germany. But in case you would like to get in-depth details how it works, so you will be getting in-depth guidance as to what is the visa process, what are the documents you need to have. You'll have a checklist, you will have calls with your counselor who will guide you as to how you have to present yourself during the visa. So though the process looks very simple, I have just listed them one, two out there, but it's a continuous long process. It will take a lot of time and efforts out there. So if you want to have an hassle free process to getting into your dream universities, please fill in the profile evaluation form. This will help us understand where you are. This will also help you understand what are the next steps that you need to take to your dream destination out there. And this is the link for your profile evaluation. You will have a conversation with the experts out there. And in case you have filled in the form, please wait patiently, because once the session is over, for sure we will get in touch with you out there. And in case you would like to know what were the previous webinars that we conducted, like USA, UK, please visit our YouTube channel, because there you will have the recordings of our webinars by experts out there. And yes, we are also coming up with amazing webinars out there, and we also have the Olympiad, which is happening on this month end. So please do register for the Olympiad if you haven't, because that will again give you an idea as to where you stand with respect to the TOEFL GRE prep out there. And I believe now we are open to the Q&A session. So Sujaya ma'am, would you like to take up some questions out there?
Sure, Ramya.
So ma'am, do you want me to read the questions out there for you?
Yeah, it'll be better if you read it. I'll answer them one by one.
Sure, ma'am. So, just two or three students have asked us that if the recordings would be shared. So, generic reply to students who have been inquiring about the webinar recording. Yes, we do have. You will get this recording once the webinar is done. You can check our YouTube channel. I will also share the link here so that you could visit our YouTube channel and take at the recordings out there. And so the question here is by a student. I have heard that TUM University started fees for international students from winter 2024, and that is 6,000 euro for master's program. Is it true?
See, tuition fees are something that varies from program to program. Even if TUM has started for one of its program, we need to also find out what program and which particular program that person is looking out for. But again, it is not specifically for all the programs. It will depend from program to program and university to university.
So I would request students to post their questions if they have any, because we have last couple of minutes with us right now. So make use of this opportunity. You could get in touch with ma'am and get your doubts cleared out there. So ma'am, we shall give them a couple of minutes. So we have a question. Could you please suggest some universities for masters in biotechnology?
See, it's going to be very random of me to suggest universities without knowing the profile of the student. So it will be easier if he could, register with the profile form evaluation, where after he's given us the profile, how the student is, what is his CGPA, what is it's looking like. So accordingly, we can be able to find out few universities for him.
Sure, ma'am. So we have a question from Maheen. I have completed Masters in Pharmaceutical Science. I would like to pursue my PhD abroad. I have some doubts regarding getting PhD position in Germany. How
Hmm.
to find a university and supervisor related to my stream over there?
Well, for that, one important factor about having to do your PhD from Germany or the European university is that you need to have a supervisor's approval. So you need to find out university which has your area of specialization that you would like to do your PhD from. If you have found out that and the related university, then in that university you need to go and tap the supervisor's approval, tap those faculties and the supervisors to give you an approval to apply for these universities. And if you have that, only then you can apply for the universities. Otherwise, they won't entertain the application. So, yes, related specialization, you need to check out on which universities, and accordingly, you will have to go do it.
Uh, uh, so, ma'am, is IELTS required for MBA?
Yes. IELTS is required. We've seen few business schools where the IELTS have been waived off, which is the Arden University, Business Schools. So these are the universities which have waived off IELTS, but IELTS is mandatory for any students who is going forward to do their German studies, German universities. So that is absolutely mandatory.
We have another question from Adarsh. Is it good to go abroad for PhD in agriculture stream?
That depends, as in what type of PhD, or what is his orientation of doing that PhD, what sort of a specialization that he is looking for. Because out there, PhD is for a 5 6 years, so you need to have that kind of opportunity also available in order to pursue your PhD. So of course, you can apply abroad, but again, try to see to it in what position you are currently in, or whether you are able to give that amount of time, 5 to 6 years, whether you have publications with you, whether you have presentations done within you. Only then you can be at a position to apply for those universities.
We have a question from Sneha. Will there be any financial assistance to meet the living expenses in Germany?
um, Galvanize do have, some amazing tie-ups with financial institutions. If she happens to be enrolling with Galvanize, we are definitely going to help. Otherwise, she probably can find out from her own network if she can get some loan for, in terms of education and loan. But Galvanize will help all our Galvanize students for financial helps with the tie-ups that we have.
We have another question from Shreyas. Is GRE and IELTS both required, or any one is sufficient?
That depend on which program he is applying to. Supposedly, if he is applying to the general programs, then only IELTS will do. But if he is going to apply for any business program or the mechanical or the automotive program under certain universities, the GRE is a mandatory requirement. So in that case, he needs to have that.
So, ma'am, we have almost taken up all the questions that have been asked by students. And in case we have missed any, or students, if you feel hesitant, please fill in the profile evaluation form so that we can get in touch with you personally and get all your doubts cleared. Because I am pretty sure, the moment we start asking questions, we will have a lot of questions coming in a flow. So we would be really glad to help you out there. And Sujaya, ma'am, would you like to share few points here before we end the session?
I would just like to wrap up by saying that if you are very focused or if you're determined to study abroad, make sure that you do not delay the process by just venturing because there would be a lot of options available. Just focus on what you want to pursue, in which country you would like to go in for, and start accumulating all the necessary requirements. When I say requirements in the form of documents, start accumulating all of that. Make sure that the courses that you are choosing has to have some connection with the course you are already currently doing, in order to you know make that kind of a connection, which is very important. So this is important that you apply on time or before time in order to get inside the great universities. So this is important. Yeah, that's it, Ramya.
So, thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today, and also, for giving us an informative session on Germany, because Germany has always been an exciting place for all the students out there. So, thank you so much, ma'am, and also thank you to students for joining us today for this session. And
Yeah.
as I mentioned earlier, we do have another webinar coming up. So if you'd like to know what are the upcoming webinars that we have planned and what are the events that are coming, please join our WhatsApp community as well, so that you will be in touch with what are the upcoming events from Galvanize. And we do have the Olympiad happening this month in 27 and 28. So please be a part of this amazing Olympiad, and all the very best once again. Thank you everyone for joining us today.